thank you for being with us today so you may better understand the coercion, injustice, and challenges that are being faced by the residents at Camp John Hay. Let me begin by clearing up some misconceptions about the unit owners and the unit owners' appeal to President Bongbong Marcos. Camp John Hay residents are not super rich. They are not billionaires from Manila or Manor. Many are from Baguio City and its surrounding provinces. Kay lokanwa nga namati iti investment offer iti partner iti gobyerno tayo. Many are retirees, former employees with the government or business owners. Others are foreigners who love Baguio and have invested in the Philippines. The units are used either as primary residence, vacation home, or rental. Some units are purchased more than 25 years ago, some years, a few years back, some even last year. In all things, the unit owners followed the law. They are buyers in good faith. They are builders in good faith. Sadly, the unit owners are now victims of a legal battle that they are not involved in. The decision of the Supreme Court in the case between BCDA, a government-owned and controlled corporation under the office of the President of the Philippines, and Camp John Hay Devco, the company to which the land was leased, was incomplete, as it failed to mention the fate of all unit owners inside Camp John Hay. The decision of the court is like giving a decision to a divorce, but leaving the children out in the street. Since the BCDA's takeover in January 6, a lot of unit owners has been subjected to mistreatment. Mabuti pa ang mga illegal settlers, they're protected by the law. You must provide a compensation, a transportation, or relocation site, among other things. But the unit owners inside Camp John Hay, they were given 24 hours to live and vacate their homes. The unit owner has to literally beg the BCDA representatives and sheriffs to be lenient as they have nowhere to go. Later, we can each sit down with all of you to share the horror stories done while in the process of being evicted. All we ask for is for the unit owners' right as third-party buyers to be recognized. They hope to be heard, they hope to be protected as the law says, and they hope to live in peace. So, for now, may I give the floor to other people who are here to give their statements also.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Yvette. We'll begin with muna another unit owner, Mr. Yongan, and then attorney, and then Sir Eric. For now, Mr. Iwong.
Yes. As a message, I think it's the same message that was spoken in the Q&A, but as Koreans, we came to the Philippines because we love it here. We have other options. We have anywhere else we can go. Where we can even stay in Korea, where the language is much easier for people who are in their 70s or in 80s. But they decided to live in the Philippines, and they decided to buy homes in Baguio, John Hay, because they really, really love it here, and they expect to finish their days, yes, in the Philippines as well. So please help us in achieving their dreams and protecting their rights to live in their homes that they paid for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iwong. Attorney Moises Fortunato.
Yes, good morning to everyone. So I'm the lawyer of most of the Koreans who bought some units at the Manor and the Forest Lodge. And unfortunately, we're having difficulty fighting this case considering that there's already a Supreme Court decision. Now, unfortunately as well, the Supreme Court decision does not mention of the rights and obligations of BCDA and DevCo with respect to these unit owners or buyers in good faith. It only mentioned of this particular part in the decision that rights and obligations of third parties and or vested right holders shall be governed by the laws and obligations and contracts. That particular decision was the decision given by the RTC of Baguio. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court did not discuss this particular decision which was given by the RTC. If, of course, the Supreme Court should have discussed the rights and obligations of DevCo and BCDA as to the rights and obligations of these third parties, then definitely this issue should have not been dragged in this scenario right now. So that would be all for.
Thank you very much, Attorney Moises. So Eric Pati, the head of the PRA.
Yeah, on behalf of the Philippine Retirement Authority Department of Tourism, thank you for having me. I am the head of PRA CAR and Northern Luzon. The prime mandate of the PRA is to entice foreigners, foreign retirees, and former Filipino citizens to come in the Philippines to make the Philippines as their second home. That is the prime mandate, and part of our mandate is to protect or assist our retiree members. Is a way of thanking them for choosing Philippines as their second home. So I was tasked by management to see the situation of our SRRB, our PRA holders. So I would like to take this opportunity that our office is located at Nevada Square. For those, I made representations already to Mr. Hiwong An to feel free to visit the office. So, and I also informed Attorney Fortunato whatever assistance the PRA could extend to our affected third parties at this present issue. So again, thank you so much, and mabuhay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Eric Pati. We also have here Sir Edward Reed, of course, the managing director of the Creative Era, also a unit owner. Pag-uusapan po nila, if you want to ask a non-legal na issue, you may approach Sir Edward. And we also have Attorney Bauman Dapat of Camp John A. Leisure. If you want to ask legal issue, you may reach to him. Okay, friends from the media, Dex. Baka ba yung tanong yan sa ating mga unit owners?
Sige.
Illegal issue. Anyway, hindi po. To Ma'am Yvette, how many are you in the, or how many unit owners are affected in both the Manor?
I think it's around 80, sir.
80.
Yes, sir. The ones that are active in our group, the one that we are representing.
Are you united in your respective positions, or there are some of you who already entered into agreements with PCD at their projected costs?
Actually, sir, at first, we are united in the things that we wanted to do. But what happened later there are lawyers who talk to these unit owners, and they get different opinions. So some of them have lawyers from Manila now, some of them from Baguio. And ultimately, I think what happened is, since January 6, everything was just, everything was happening so fast. They were coerced into making decisions which they did not like. So what happened recently is there are some unit owners who already talked to BCDA and made the down payment required just so they can be left in peace.
How much?
Different amounts, sir, depending upon the unit where they are staying, because there's forest lodge, there's Manor, cabin, and country homes.
The range? If you are at liberty to divulge.
I think there are some who paid 20% of the money that BCDA is asking for already, and then there are some that gave a 500,000 deposit.
Did you receive any response from the Office of the President? Or are you part of that letter?
We were a part of that letter, sir. A lot of signatories joined in that letter. No, we haven't received any response from the Office of the President.
To Attorney Fortunato, what are the available legal remedies that you are thinking of taking into?
Yes, I think some of these were already mentioned or were already discussed before. But first was we actually availed the remedy of terceria under Rule 39 of the Rules of Court, where we filed an affidavit of third-party claim. I think some of the third parties way back in the 2015 case also filed this case, but unfortunately, the court did not take any action with regards to the third-party claims. That's, I think, the reason why even DEBCO filed the appeal to the Court of Appeals on the 29th day when the RTC of Baguio did not act on the third-party claim of these third parties. So that's what also that's what we did. Also, we filed a third-party claim, and we're planning to file a recovery of possession and or ownership over those units that my clients own, of course, with damages. We also filed a TRO with the RTC. I'm not inclined to disclose any additional details regarding that. And we're also planning to file most probably some damages against both DEBCO and VCDA. On what ground? That's because both of them actually breached their contract. And because of their breach, their mutual breach, these third parties were affected. That would be all.
Was the TRO the one that was denied or is it still pending?
I cannot disclose that information. You may go to court unless, of course, my clients would disclose that right now.
Thank you, Attorney.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dexter. Ka-Freddy, gusto mo may tanong ka? Si Grace. Okay.
Kay Sir Hewong An. Sir, regarding po dun sa nangyari po dun sa inyo po kay ma'am sa parang harassment.
Grace.
Regarding the harassment that you encountered when the sheriff, what is the update? Did you sue or legal actions? What is your plan?
We haven't decided yet. We're, everything starting January 6th, every single day has been a battle, from morning to night, because we don't know when the sheriffs will show up. We don't know when they're gonna ask us, knock on the door, or we don't know when they're gonna break open the door. So we've been on alert since January 6th until now, morning to night. So regarding that question, I haven't had time to think about it.
I think for now our priorities are safety, so we're not making any moves against the harassment that was
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Nico Ferrer of
So for Sir Eric Pati, sir, what would be the assistance that the PRA car would be giving our foreigners, retirees in Camp Chanhae? Are there plans already?
So far, since I think, correct me if I'm wrong, some were already evicted. So the PRA has accredited condominiums and places where they could, invest another investment. And of course, our prime move now is to, encourage them to stay put in the Philippines. Always remember that Philippines is your second home. So we also have a legal department. We have lawyers who could render legal advices. Of course, they have engaged their respective lawyers already. But again, as a government entity, the office is always open. So far, those are the things that we think that we could extend to our retiree members.
For Ma'am Yvette, Ma'am, are their unit owners still living inside Camp Chanhae, and how are they how are their situations right now?
I can speak for the Filipino owners, sir. They're already barred from entering their units. Like a week after they posted the notice to vacate, like I've said in my earlier statement, they were only given 24 hours to vacate it. And then a week after that, it was already locked by the sheriff.
How do
Locked
they-
and sealed, sir. So they can no longer access their units except to pull out some of their personal properties inside.
So where are they staying right now, ma'am? Are they somewhere around the city and staying with friends or family or relatives?
Some of the unit owners, sir, are they went home already. Some of them from Manila, and then surrounding provinces as well.
Thank you.
These old unit owners who used to enjoy Camp John Hay are no longer staying inside, much to their regret. Actually, as a Filipino, I really sympathize with all these retirees, even the Koreans. They've been my friends a long time, and I feel really bad for them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Rico. Just one question to our unit owners, our Korean unit owners. Are they with their families?
No, most of them are retired and old, so their children are in Korea and they want to live in the Philippines. So their children have jobs in Korea, they have families in Korea, so they just retired to live in the Philippines, and now they don't know what to do. Some of the people here really lost their homes, so at the end of February, they don't have anywhere to go. They don't know where to put their furnitures, they can't bring it to Korea. So they really don't have any answer other than maybe just move into their children's homes, because that's the only option they have, to move back to Korea, because they don't have anywhere else to go in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you, sir. John? Okay, Ms. Lizette.
My question is for Ed, Eric. Sir, because your clients are foreigners, you are inviting foreigners to retire in the Philippines, does this have any effect to your office or to your program?
That's the reason why management was alarmed with respect to this issue. Because as mentioned earlier, our prime mandate is to entice foreign retirees. The PRA is one of the top government agencies contributing to the national treasury because of our foreign retirees. So with this present issue, although we respect the decision of the highest tribunal in the land, of course there will be a negative impact, because if these affected foreign retirees would go home, they would tell stories about, it's very hard there, there's no permanency and everything, and it would defeat our purpose of promoting the retirement industry of the Philippines. That's why it's very, all of us at PRA are worried about this situation now. So, parang babaliktad yung mag-entice ka eh. So, kaya management now is, on top of the situation. They're all reading the articles at Facebook. And that's why I need to make representations and see all my retirees who were affected, just to show them that PRA, a government agency, is here, and to give them alternatives.
Sir, you mentioned that your office was alarmed. To the highest level po ba itong alarm na ito, or to your level?
Actually, PRA as a whole. Kasi buo naman ng PRA, we're a government entity. So this might happen to other places also. And besides, we are promoting the Philippines as a whole, as a second retirement home. Our target is to be the first, the first place retirement haven in Southeast Asia. And hopefully these kinds of issue will be resolved, and to get rid of that negative impact. The multiplier effect when they go home, and then they will tell the horrible experiences they had. So it will really affect the retirement industry one way or the other.
If I may add, ma'am, I've been living in Baguio for over 25 years, and I know for a fact that 10 years ago, there were more Koreans in Baguio than now. I don't know about Manila, I don't know about Cebu. There might be more Koreans now than 10 years ago, but Baguio specifically, there's less Koreans now than 10 years ago. Because there was bad coverage media in Korean news about Koreans being targeted by some Filipinos. The number of residents here, Korean residents in Baguio, have gone down in the past 10 years. So this will only add more to the bad horror stories that Koreans have been having in the Philippines. So why can't we turn around and make this a good story, where Koreans' rights were protected, and we can go around and tell other people to come to the Philippines. My wife is Filipino, so of course I want Philippines to be better and richer. My daughter is half Filipino. Of course I want Philippines to be a better country. So why can't we make this a good example, where I wouldn't go around and, if a Korean person asks me and say, oh hey, I want to invest in the Philippines, I want to retire there, should I go? What can I tell them? Of course I'll tell them no. Even though I married a Filipino and my child is Filipino, of course I'll tell them no, don't come to the Philippines. The government will steal your money, and they will not respect your rights. The sheriffs, even though they're supposed to come after 30 days, they will not respect it. They will turn off electricity and water and abuse you every single day. Why should I lie to my own countrymen? I will not talk to them honestly. So I hope this can become a good example, where whenever something happens, whenever there's bad news in Korea about the Philippines, I can tell them, no, that's not what happens. It's because they didn't follow the due legal process. If they follow the due legal process like us, then the Philippine government will listen to you. They are fair. That's what I want to say to my daughter and my wife and to other Korean people. But from what I saw now, I cannot say that. That's all I want.
Are you positive, or how positive are you that these issues will be resolved?
I believe that logically and commonsensically, our rights should be protected, because this is a fight between DevCo and BCDA. How are the tenants supposed to be affected by the landlords fighting? For me, I think if a lot of people find about this, and if the news media helps and get the message across, I think we have a fair fight. Everyone doesn't want to be evicted from their homes out of the blue. No country can stand safe if all the citizens are afraid that the police might one day show up, just like how our child was locked in the room and they sealed the room, and I'm not even able to enter my own house where my child is. Who wants to live in a country like that? No one wants to live in a country where 20 policemen can one day show up and evict you. No society can be healthy that way. So I believe that the more people find this out, and if the president and the mayor and the reporters help us, I think we have a good chance. No one wants to live in a country where they can be evicted with their child in 24 hours. No one wants to live in that country, right? No one here wants to live in that country.
I'd like to ask again, Sir Eric, what assistance, aside from referring to them the accredited condominiums that your office knows about, what else can your office do to assist these investors?
I guess management would reach out with BCDA and find a solution to the third party's problem. I will make a report to management after this very noble undertaking, that management, being a PRA, being a government entity, could reach out to BCDA, and these are now happening. Those affected are our retirees, the third party. So that is one of my plan. They might, make some initiatives to sit down with BCDA and talk about the welfare of the third parties, because of course it's the third parties who were affected by this issue.
Thank you.
Okay. Kay Ma'am Eve, Ma'am, did the unit owner file case against Sobretaino or the
I'm not sure as of this moment if somebody already did, but they were hearing different opinions from their own lawyers. That's not far from happening, maybe. But what happened since the whole thing started, every time a Filipino approaches the BCDA, the BCDA people would give them direct advice to file a case against Mr. Sobretaino.
Thank you, Ma'am. kay Attorney Fortunato. Sir, ano po yung mga assistance po na natanggap niyo na po or na binibigay po ng government po ng Baguio para matulungan po kayo sa case po?
Well, so far I think the mayor, the honorable mayor, tried also his best to discuss this matter together with the unit owners, PCBA, and DELCO. Unfortunately, when we had a meeting with the mayor and the PCBA representative, what they mentioned is that to apply the decision of the Supreme Court. So I think that the plan of PCBA is to convert the Manor and the Forest Lodge to a hotel. That's why they are forcing these unit owners to get out from their units. So unlike I think the single detached unit owners, I think PCDA offered them something like Mami Beth mentioned earlier about like 20% that they will be paying in order for them to extend their contract with PCDA. But for the unit owners, they were never been offered anything. They were just being forced to vacate their premises.
Thank you so much po.
Okay na, Grace? Okay. Sige. Last question from Rico. Okay, carry on.
Attorney, are there other, sa inyo pong pag-aaral, are there other laws which were violated during the process of evicting those unit owners? And are you planning to file a case for those wrong treatment?
Well, there are several na violate, no? More particularly dun sa abuse of right on Article 19 of the Civil Code, abuse of right principle. And of course, we are planning to file cases against these people. But without, of course, the consent from my clients, then hindi muna kami gagalaw. So unless and until na nakapag-decide na ng mga clients ko to file a case against these people involved, then definitely that's the time that I will be filing the case for them.
Sir, are we talking about a multi-million lawsuit here?
That did not come to my mind. Well, ang gusto ko lang really is to help this client sana. And that's the main reason why I filed the TRO. We are hopeful sana na ma-maintain yung status quo. And the money, I think, it never came to my mind about filing any case for damages and sum of money. That's not part of it.
Sir, are you part of a group of lawyers who are helping these unit owners?
I'm just a small town lawyer here in Baguio. This new one actually started in 2020. Though of course I discussed this matter with a few friends who have been in the law practice for more than 20 years. And yes, we actually discussed this. Not just me, but a few lawyers in my circle.
Thank you, Attorney. Thank you, Sir
Thank
Mix.
you very much, Rico. Anyway, Attorney Moises, your closing statement, please.
Well, I just would like sana again, I would like to put into attention the decision of the Supreme Court. I know, of course, that they are the highest court of the land, and it's just so happened that this time around that they failed to discuss the rights and obligations of the third parties, even though there were third-party claims that were filed in the RTC. And I'm hoping that this will not happen again, because this is a very dangerous precedent. One is, if BCDA and DevCo, for example, will again enter into a contract, and DevCo will sell properties to third parties. Now, these third parties invested a lot of money, and DevCo and BCDA will just breach their contract, mutual breach, and then the Supreme Court will just say again, okay, sige, since you breach your contract, both of you, so mutual rescission will again be applied, and they will again not discuss the rights and obligations of these third parties. I think since there's already a precedent, medyo delikado yun. So we're hoping that at some point in time, the Supreme Court will revisit this particular decision. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Sir Eric?
Mr. Ann, Ma'am Yvette, kindly encourage our PRA members, considering that you have contacts with them, to visit the office whatever assistance we could give. And also, I would like to appeal to the media people to still promote the Philippines as the best retirement haven in Southeast Asia. And to our Korean community, stay put. You're in good hands. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir Eric. Mr. Hiwong?
Yes, I've been living in Baguio since I was 6 years old. So I believe we're one of the first people here to settle in Baguio and open up and to settle down and live here. My wife is Filipina. My child, I have a baby daughter with her, and I still have a lot of faith in the Philippines. That's why I married here and I'm living here, because I still have a lot of faith in the Philippines and the people of the Philippines. I hope from this, my belief will be stronger and not broken. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hiwong. And Ms. Yvette de la Cruz?
Yes, sir. Actually, if you notice, the unit owners at Camp Janhay, since this thing started, they're quite graceful about it. Hindi po kami nagingay, hindi po kami nanggulo. Kahit pinipilit na silang umalis sa unit nila, walang naging marahas na resistance. It's because at the end of the day, we believe that they know what they're doing, they know what they did. Sana, huwag namang ganon. Yung mga karapatan ng tao na inapakan po nila, we really hope that, they can correct themselves. I mean, we are all humans here. The inner goodness of man is never silenced. You know when you're hurting other people already. Huwag namang ganon. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Yvette. Okay, that officially ends our press con. But the only